Hi folks, welcome again to the channel. Juan here from Physical Media EU. Today we have another 4K review, this time high tension from Second Sight Films. Hello again and thanks for tuning in for the review of High Tension. Before we start, I would like to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're interested in physical media, especially Blu-ray reviews and also soundtracks in vinyls, as you can see back here. Besides that, you can also find me on Instagram with the same handle, Physical Media EU, where I post detailed pictures of all the items that I review. Now yes, let's begin with this review, this time High Tension from Second Sight Film. High Tension is a French movie, a horror movie, as you can see by the cover, from 2003. I watched it for the first time in a film festival from my hometown, Mar del Plata in Argentina. And even though back then I was not into horror films, this one really blew my mind and made me realize that there's so much more good horror movies out there beyond what comes out of Hollywood. And on top of that, for me, watching the movie in a film festival, if I like the movie, in my heart it's like it has extra points because I saw it in a film festival. I have reviewed already several movies that I have watched in festivals like that one. So let's take a look at this release. As you can see here, the cover is a full slip case. It has this J card, which we will see the contents in a second, but here you can see the cover, very beautiful, by Second Sight. And here is the back. Now here are the contents of the back of the J card, which basically, it describes the special features, well, of course, a description about the movie, a synopsis, and the limited edition contents. So let's take a look at those real quick. So if we open to see the contents here, we are presented with this 70 pages booklet about the film. I can read to you real quick the contents here. So first of all, it's cast and crew. Then there's an article called How High Tension Embraced Horror and Refused to Apologize for It. There's another one called Shared Pain. Another one titled I Won't Let Anyone Come Between Us. It's about sexuality and violence in the movie. Then another one, Self-Sabotage as the Killer in High Tension. And finally, acknowledgement and production credits. So I'll show some pages of the content. Second Sight Films, right, is from the UK. So luckily all this content is in English. I'm just trying to be careful and not spoil anything, right? Because if you haven't seen the movie, I can totally recommend. But yeah, sure, you don't want to be seeing spoilers here. So I'll just like skip some of these pictures. And here is the back. Here at the end, though, the last page, it doesn't say anything about the restoration. But it does say, though, about the HDR10. So probably a Second Sight Film used the transfer for the version of this movie that came the year before, and they just color grading using HDR10. But we'll talk about other releases a little later in the video. Moving on to the rest of the content, there's also some art cards here. Let's take a look real quick. So they are white on the back, so I'll just show one side of them. Also, we'll double check that there are no spoilers in these ones, but you can see some here. This one spoiler, so I'm gonna show these two. Here you have one more. Most of these images kind of you see already on the promotion material of these releases, right? So nothing too bad about those, with the exception of those that I decided not to show. So then we come up to this digipack, which has the movies, and here you have both discs, right? You have the 4K here, there, and the Blu-ray. An interesting thing to mention about these two is that they have exactly the same content. So the extras are on both records. So if you have a 4K player, there's no need to put the Blu-ray in the player at any point. Now that I've mentioned that the booklet is in English, I can also add that the movie is French, so it has French audio and the subtitles are in English, and those are the only available subtitles in both of these discs. Now talking about the disc, let's jump right into picture quality. The first thing I want to say is I upgraded this movie from my old DVD, so for me the jump was huge. I know there was at least a Blu-ray, but I cannot say how good that was. What I can say though is that I didn't see a lot of difference between the Blu-ray and the 4K of these discs, but with that said, both look amazing. And the 4K naturally provides a little bit more contrast in the colors, especially the depth of the black colors. So it's definitely an improvement over the Blu-ray. But besides that, these 4K releases that started coming last year from other labels, now it finally came to Second Sight Film. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but all these newer releases look very good, especially because if they had to make the restorations for the 4K, the new Blu-rays have also the same transfer, so it's definitely an upgrade of the previous version. Regarding the audio track, as this is a horror movie, always needs to come with a good audio track, and I think that's the case again for this release. The track is a Master Audio 5.1 DTH-HD, and it's the same in the 4K disc and also in the Blu-ray. About the Blu-ray, you have to remember that is not region free, as is the 4K. The Blu-ray is region B. So if you are in the United States, for example, you need a multi-region player to be able to play this disc. But as I said before, it's exactly the same content as the 4K. So as long as you have a 4K player, you don't need the Blu-ray. Talking about other releases, first of all, I want to show my old DVD, which I upgraded from. You can see up here with the original cover. I bought that one many years ago, and I still keep it, but it's just not here. Besides that, and as I mentioned before, there was an old Blu-ray which I didn't have, so I can't say anything about it. But last year, this movie, which I can't pronounce properly in French, so I used the international title High Tension, came out in 4K on other labels. Came out on a German label in the format of MediaBook, and it actually had like multiple covers that you could choose from when ordering it. The bad thing, if you're an international customer, is that those releases only have subtitles in German, and the movie being in French, I couldn't have watched the movie like that. Although since I already know the movie quite well, I was this close of buying it. But what stopped me was that the cover that I liked the best was sold out by the moment I wanted to buy. So kind of I left it for another time. And then, for my surprise, and like such a welcome surprise, Second Sight Film, which is one of my favorite labels, announced that they were doing a release of this movie. So it was like a no-brainer. I pre-ordered as soon as it went live. But unfortunately, that was like back in September. The movie got delayed like twice. First of all, there was like a print problem, and then some other logistics error. I can't recall what that was, but I received my copy like in late February. So from September to February, it's a long time. Luckily, here we have it. It's amazing quality as always with Second Sight. The movie looks awesome, and I'm very happy to have it in my collection, again now in 4K. Last thing I want to mention is about the bonus features. So I'll go back to the J card here to read those for you. So let's take a look at them. So, well, first of all, it says that this transfer is approved by the director Alexandre Aya. That's always good to know, which makes, in my opinion, this definitive release. Then there's a new, one of the extras is an audio commentary by Dr. Lindsay Hallam. Then there is an interview with the director and another one with the writer. Both of these are new interviews from current day, so they analyze the movie in hindsight. I thought both of them are very interesting, especially the one with the writer. That one I enjoyed a little bit more. One of the anecdotes he says is that there's a movie from 1980 that he loved called Maniac that has a scene, again, I don't want to give any spoilers, but a scene that you also see in this movie. And when he was writing this movie, he thought as a tribute, he would like to have a scene just like that in High Tension. And again, to show the tribute, one of the graffitis you can see in the original movie, you can also see in this scene in High Tension. Then there are some more interviews with cinematographer Maxime Alexandre, also with special effects artist Gennaro De Rossi, and with Alexandra Heller Nicolas. Besides that, there's also 3 archive interviews from back in the day. This is probably like from the days of the DVD, so the quality on those, of course, is very archive-like. And finally, a featurette of making of high tension. So that's a very solid list of bonus features, and again, you can find them on both the 4K and the Blu-ray. So that's a very positive thing, and I'm glad to see Second Sight decided to do it that way. So that's it for the review. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please consider subscribing. Remember that I will post little pictures on Instagram, which has the same handle, Physical Media EU, and I would love to hear in the comments if you have watched this movie or if you got this release and what did you think of it. Thank you so much for watching, and see you all at Okie Dogs.